Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, so if you've ever touched data in Python, you know Pandas. It is the library for data manipulation. But let's be honest, it can also feel like an absolute beast. So today, we're going to tame that beast. We're going to create a simple, clear map to help you navigate its massive universe. I mean, have you ever looked at the official Pandas documentation? It feels like someone just handed you a dictionary and said, okay, now go write a novel. Where do you even begin with all of this? If you've ever felt that sense of being completely lost, trust me, you are in the right place. So what's the secret? Well, you don't navigate it by trying to memorize every single star in the sky. That's just not going to work. The key isn't brute force memorization. It's about having a map, a mental model that turns all that chaos into a clear, easy-to-navigate landscape. So, let's start our tour. We're going to kick things off by just appreciating the sheer scale of Pandas. Then we'll lay our foundation with the core building blocks. After that, we'll get our hands dirty, shaping and cleaning data, and then move on to the fun part, uncovering insights. We'll check out some specialized power tools, and then finally, we'll put it all together into your complete map to mastery. Okay, let's dive in. The first step here is actually a really simple but powerful shift in how you think about it. Instead of seeing Pandas as this long, scary list of functions, let's start picturing it as a giant, powerful workshop for your data. You know, a place with different stations, and each one is designed for a very specific job. Right, so every single project you start in this data workshop begins with two fundamental building blocks. You can think of these as your raw materials. The first one is a series, which is really just a single list or a single column of data. And then there's the second one, the true star of the show, the data frame. A data frame is basically your main workbench. It's like a really smart spreadsheet or a SQL table, but it's living right inside your Python code. It holds all your data in a nice, structured way with rows and columns, and it's what pretty much every other tool in the Pandas workshop is designed to work on. And of course, Pandas gives you all these powerful tools just to build this workbench. It doesn't matter if you're making a data frame from scratch, or maybe combining a few smaller tables into one big one, or even generating a time series index. There are specific functions designed to get your raw data assembled and ready to go. Now, once our data is on the workbench, we get to what is, let's be real, often 80% of any data scientist's job, cleaning and shaping. This is where you take messy, real-world data and wrangle it into submission. And honestly, this is where Pandas is an absolute superstar. You know, the best way to think about data cleaning in Pandas isn't as one giant scary task. It's really just a series of common problems. And for each of these problems, like messy text or missing values or wrong data types, Pandas has a specific set of tools designed for that exact job. Let's look at a couple of common ones. Okay, here's a classic problem. You have numbers, but they're stored as text, which means you can't do any math on them. So to fix it, you can use a tool like asType to just force a column to become, say, an integer. Or you can use the even smarter convert data types, which will actually scan your whole data frame and automatically pick the best possible data type for every single column. So cool. And what about those empty cells that always pop up? Well, Pandas gives you a whole toolkit just for missing data. You can find all the empty spots with functions like isNull. You can fill them in by just carrying the last known value forward, which is amazing for time series data. Or you can even interpolate, which is just a fancy way of saying Pandas can intelligently estimate the missing value based on the numbers around it. The cleaning process also covers things like duplicates and just being more efficient. You can find and drop duplicate rows with a single command. And for repetitive text data, think something like country names. You can use factorize to convert them into these super efficient numerical codes. This saves a ton of memory and makes your whole analysis run way, way faster. So once your data is all clean and properly shaped on the workbench, we can move over to the observatory. This is the part of our workshop where we get to use all the analytical tools to find the story, the patterns, and the insights that are hiding in all those numbers. And this is really where the magic happens. You start asking questions, and Pandas gives you the tools to find the answers. Want a high-level statistical summary of your data? Use a describe function. Need to see how two different things relate to each other? Crosstab is perfect for that. And for calculations that build over time, like a running total, you've got cumulative functions like cumSum ready to go. Okay, so beyond that core workshop for cleaning and analysis, Pandas also has these specialized districts for interacting with the outside world. These are your power tools for getting data in and out, and for creating some really compelling visualizations of your results. The input-output district, or I/O, is all about connecting Pandas to everything else. And this is so powerful. With just a single line of code, you can read a CSV file, pull data directly from a SQL database, or even parse a complex JSON object into a perfectly clean data frame. And then, when you're done, exporting your work to a format like Excel is just as simple. And right next door to that, you have the plotting district. Pandas integrates directly with visualization libraries. That means you can go from a boring table of numbers to a powerful insight in literally a single line of code. You can instantly create a histogram to see how often values appear, a box plot to understand distributions, or time series plots to spot trends, all directly from your data frame. So here's the crucial point. We've now toured the entire Panda City, and we've created our map. We've seen where to get the raw materials, we know where the main workshop is, we've visited the observatory for finding insights, and we've seen the specialized districts for connecting to the world. So this is your mental model. This is your map. By thinking about your work in these 4 stages, building your data frame, cleaning it in the workshop, analyzing it in the observatory, and then finally sharing it using those specialized tools, you will always know which part of the toolbox you need. The chaos just becomes a clear, logical workflow. And this right here is the most important takeaway. Don't try to memorize the dictionary, just learn how to use the map. The goal was never to know every single function by heart. It's about knowing which part of the city to visit for whatever task you have at hand. With this framework, that vast Pandas universe isn't an intimidating challenge anymore. It's an open world of possibility. It's just a powerful workshop waiting for you to build something amazing. So the only question left is, what will you discover?